Welcome back, everyone. I'm the Depressed Eeyore, and this is Kingdom Death Monster. So, yeah, we're still in Year 10. We need to complete the rest of the Year 10 events. We just fought the Manhunter, and it went rather well. I I felt pretty good about that fight overall. I mean, we lost one Acanthus Herb, which kind of sucks, but that's really not a big deal. But um, I'm more glad that I'm pretty sure I didn't miss any rules. Cue all the comments that said I missed something, but I'm gonna go ahead and just press on here, and hopefully, I think everything's okay. So that's what I'm more concerned about, right? Not just winning the fight, but making sure I'm doing it as legit as possible. Obviously, there are some rules I've house rules I've set up for myself, but I've declared those ahead of time usually. So yeah, I try to keep things as legit as possible, especially within the bounds of any rules change that I make. Anyway, let's go ahead and go pull up the timeline here. Uh, so, yeah, okay, so year 10, we need to do Armored Strangers next. Obviously, it's going to cause Armored Strangers to appear 4 years from now, which I've already got marked. Also, I need to actually delete that Gorm Climate. That's all the way down there. My bad. The reason you can see that I got pretty far on the timeline if I had Gorm Climates all the way down there. Like I said, I had to revert a lot because of forgetting about King's Curse. Speaking of King's Curse, it specifically says it only triggers once per year, so I can still send Momiji out to fight a Gorm or whatever, and she won't have to worry about an additional transformation. Anyway, Armor Strangers. We would get the guidepost again if we didn't have it. We already have it, so no worries there. Armor Strangers has been out of the timeline 4 years from now, so year 14 is what we're looking at. And we have a 70% chance that we're going to get something pretty beneficial from this. So I ended up getting the best result last time, but this time I'm expecting to roll a 1. Okay. I'm a freaking prophet. Survivor's ears fill with a painful static. Returning survivor gains a random disorder. So once again, I'll roll 1d4 and based off the tabs up above. So 1d4. It's going to be Yumiko, unfortunately. And this is going to be a 1d46, I believe. So 26. At least it'll be a new one. Performance anxiety. You're not ready to love. You cannot be nominated for intimacy. Cure this disorder if you have 8 plus courage. We don't have intimacy for this, so I'm gonna go ahead and I did say if it doesn't apply, I'll remove it. So this does not apply to us. So I'll go ahead and roll again. 24. Arithmophilia. You love numbers, your life must exist in perfect arithmetical harmony. When you gain this order, roll 1d5. Your movement is that number. Ignore all other movement modifiers. Alright, this is actually bad for Yumiko, because she does have 6 movement, so this is going to be a debuff one way or the other, so I'm going to go ahead and roll 1d5. Her movement is now 2. So, arithmophilia. Sure I spell that correctly. Philia. And I'll put a 2 movement. That's actually really bad, because that definitely limits her abilities to maneuver greatly, in fact. So that's a problem. And we don't have drums yet, so that's a problem too. So we can't actually remove this disorder. At least not easily. Alright. Alright, well, there's a few things we do need to take care of. Let's go ahead and take care of rivalry first. Well, actually, sorry, there's one more thing we need to take care of. Let's take care of Gorm Climate. And of course, we're going to lose a freaking innovation because of that. Unfortunately, this back-to-back, whenever you suffer a freaking, oh, never mind, we have Negredo, so never mind, we lose Negredo. But let me go ahead and pull that up. So, we do get Gorm Climate next year, because obviously we haven't gotten rid of it yet. I'm going to choose to go ahead and keep my resources and just lose an innovation. I mean, at this point, it might be pretty safe that we can go ahead and discard what we have. But since I'm going to be going on another hunt anyway, I'm going to go ahead and just lose the innovation. That's completely fine. This does mean our max survival is now only 8. That's fine. Okay. Anyway, so that's all taken care of. That is it for the year, I'm pretty sure. Kind of sucked that we kind of got some bad luck there, but honestly, since everything else went so well, I guess I can't complain. I kind of wish I would stop rolling once, though. Alright, so yeah, that is it. We did Armor Strangers and got yet another disorder. You're supposed to get a beneficial thing, by the way, but unfortunately, we've gotten bad things every time. We'll probably get we'll run into this event 2 more times, so we'll see how we're doing. Right now, our average is 0 and 2. Gorm Climate's been taken care of. Let's go ahead and update that. I'm gonna go ahead and I'll update that in a second. Let me go ahead and spend 2 endeavors and take care of the rivalry. The rivalry was between Yomu and Yorihime, so we'll take care of that right now. So it's a duel. I get to roll 1d10. If I don't do this, rivalry will be an issue. So 1d10, 7. Roll 1d10 for each rival. The one who rolls higher is the winner. The winner gains +1 strength, and the loser is dead. Remove rivalry from the timeline. All right. So once again, I'll base off the tabs up here. So Yomu is first, Yorihime is second. 2d10. Whoever rolls highest is the winner. So first number is Yomu. Second number is Yorihime. Yorihime wins. So Yomu gets knocked out, which is gonna make her skip the next time, and Yorihime gets +1 strength. Alright. That sucks, but not much we can do about it. And let me just make sure Tenacious... I don't think Tenacious is the one I need to worry about. Yeah, it's definitely not. Okay. Speaking of fighting arts, I haven't really been keeping much track of those. Okay, nothing bad. Okay, nothing that would have triggered. Alright, so yeah, Yomu's out of commission for this year, and Yorihime's still out of commission this year because of secretive, so yay for that, I guess. We do get to remove rivalry, so I'll go ahead and just replace it with Gorm Climate and call it a day. Also, next year we get the Bone Witch, so yay for that, I guess. Come to think of it, I might want to take advantage of that. Yeah, I want to do that. Okay. So I can actually cure a lot of injuries right now, if I really want to. Let me go ahead and point out something I could do here. So we do have that heart, if you remember. And the choices we get to make is based off here, and if whether or not you have cooking or not. And I'm just seeing what we got access to. So yeah, I can get the main one. You can do medical compulsion. Pretty much, you get to pick one of these. We also get the Crimson Candy innovation, which is pretty unique. But yeah, we can actually get someone +1 accuracy and understanding, and also remove all permanent injuries on 2 survivors, which is pretty significant. The other option, of course, you can get Transcended Masochist and +1 strength, and that's it. And then, of course, there's the we can also potentially increase luck and survival limit. But I think I'm not going to trigger this yet because I actually want to keep Kangara Death, because next year is going to be the Bone Witch. So we'll just keep the Hunter's Heart around, I guess. Not really a big deal. We'll put the Steel Sword away. We don't need it. Everything else here is not that important. Let's go ahead and get rid of the IS Sword and Spear combo for the moment. Actually, you can have it. There you go. Okay. So I'm just taking a look at a few things here. Seeing what sort of options I have. Okay. We have 4 endeavors left. Unfortunately, we don't have very many options of what to use them on. I really wish I could get rid of some of these freaking disorders, but it's not happening. So let's see. I'll spend an endeavor on the war room, so we can go ahead and re-roll a D100. Is there anything else I really care to use? I don't think there is. Nope. Okay. So yeah, I'll go ahead and spend survival on the war room so we can get reroll hunt event if we need to. Everything else is pretty minor. We can potentially get Kangara maxed out courage, which is actually a really good thing to get right now if I'm going to get it at any time. Everything else is pretty not a big deal. Okay. Well, also the other thing we can work towards is trying to get some understanding. You know what? Let's go for understanding. So we have 3 endeavors left. I'll go ahead and spend 2 of them. I'll do them one at a time. So 1d10, plus 1 survival, plus 1 survival, plus 1 survival. Okay, bunch of nothing. And you're already maxed out. Alright, so that's all taken care of. As for who we're going to send on the hunt, it's actually going to probably just be everyone here. I'm just going to go ahead and send the same team. I think that's completely fine. We will go after a Gorm because we need Negretto back. And to be honest, we're probably going to just end up hunting Gorms forever so I can try to potentially finish the freaking Gorm set, which is never going to happen. I would try to hunt a level 2 Gorm, but the problem with the level 2 Gorm is not only does it get stat increases, it also has a bunch of freaking story events. Or just one story event, and the story event pretty much just says, you get screwed over. Twice. And then level 3 story event involves literally sacrificing one of your hunters. It's actually pretty ridiculous. So I don't exactly like it. But yeah, we'll go ahead and send this group. I think that's completely fine. Our max survival right now is 8, so that's going to be taken care of. Tenchi, of course, is going to get plus 2 survival. This gets healed. You get that back. You get that back. Alright. So max survival is 8 right now because we unfortunately lost some stuff. We do have access to the lantern, which I'll hopefully take advantage of. We do have storytelling, so we get to potentially roll horrible on that too, so that's good. Okay, so yeah, we're going to go ahead and hunt a Gorm. I think everything's set up for that, so I'm going to go ahead and make sure. Feels like it's been forever since I hunted a Gorm. But yeah, here's the events, by the way. If you are fighting a level 2 Gorm, when the survivors arrive at the showdown, you have to approach the cave, so you have to end up doing these. There's a potential that you can get some good stuff. For the most part, most of them are pretty bad. And then when you win the fight, you have to do a blind exit, which is going to involve other stuff. You can potentially get things like legendary lungs, or acid palms and things like that. But you can also get megalophobia disorder, which pretty much prevents you from hunting another Gorm. Or you can potentially get the honorable disorder. So yeah, you get pretty messed up. And then if you fight a level 3, you have to nominate a survivor to become bait and let him be eaten. And there's a chance he might get him or something. And then there's of course the timid entrance, which also does bad things. It's just not worth it. Also, the thing that makes Gorms really deadly is their freaking Wretch. The damage of Wretch is based off level. And it bypasses armor, so Wretch would end up doing a lot more damage, and it bypasses armor. So at level 2, if the Wretch happens to hit your head, it's a severe injury, and there's not much you can do about it. The other bad part is, of course, at level 2, at level 2, level 2 Gorms will do a Wretch every round. Well, funny enough, level 3s do not. Instead, they do something else that's probably a lot more annoying. But yeah, for the reward, I mean, the only reason you would go for a level 3 Gorm is to get the stomach lining. The only way you can get stomach lining is by fighting a level 3 Gorm, unfortunately. And you need that if you want to get the super buff on your Gorm set, as well as the ability to just remove severe injuries as if there are nothing. So yeah, it's been mentioned in the comments and stuff that level 2 and level 3 are just not worth it. I would argue that maybe fighting like level 2 lion and antelope might be worthwhile, because honestly, they're not that dangerous. And I might even argue that Phoenix might be worthwhile fighting level 2 and level 3. But yeah, Gorm with all these additional encounters, not worth it. Not worth it at all. Did I up your insanity? I honestly don't remember. Give me one moment, I'll check. I did. Okay. I just want to make sure. All right. Once again, we do have this, the scythe, the sickle rather. So we can definitely take advantage of that. Get ourselves some more more acanthus, so we can make some acanthus stuff. As for the events, we will go ahead and have. We'll have it set up like this. Okay. Yeah, it feels like it's been forever, but let's go ahead and knock this out. We do have the lantern, so I'll definitely be using that at some point. So let's go ahead and move up and do our Gorm stuff. So, hunt events, it's 1d7. 4. Itchy palms. If any survivor has 3+ understanding, they realize the Gorms use these stones to scratch their enormous, delicate palms. Armed with these fresh tracks, they may hasten to their quarry, skipping the next hunt space. If this move, they may is the key word here. If this move if this makes them hit the monster space, they ambush the monster. I actually don't want to skip the next hunt space because that's where our herb gathering is at. So, the good news is we don't trigger a random hunt event, so we don't have to worry about that. So, all right. Next, we do hit this herb gathering. When you hit herb gathering, you do get +1 survival, but we're already maxed out. We'll go ahead and do herb gathering. Once again, it's just going to be like a 3d10 or whatever, so 3d10. Actually, it's whatever. It's as many d10s as you want, as long as you don't get doubles. Tenchi next, then Momiji, then Yumiko. I didn't roll any doubles, so this is 17, 15, 25, and 14, so that is 40. That is 71. So what do we get with 71 here? '71 puts us just barely within the fresh acanthus stuff, which is fine. Because I don't really want to go for the high stuff. We get +1 survival and a fresh acanthus, as well as if we had a cooking, we would get a random vermin resource, but we don't have cooking. Yeah, we don't. All right, so we get a fresh acanthus. That's really the important part. All right, let's pull up resources, strange, and get that fresh acanthus. I technically need to assign this to somebody, but I'm not going to really worry about it. All right, next we do trigger a actual hunt event, so let's go ahead and knock that out. So 1d7, 3. Horizon of Bones. Okay. If any survivor has 5+ hunt experience and +3+ courage, you press 4, fearfully sneaking through the bone wall. All survivors gain +1 courage. I definitely have that requirement. Kangara herself has it, which means everyone gets +1 courage, which means Kangara triggers See the Truth. So that's the good news. Oops. There we go. That wasn't me putting 2 there. That was I accidentally clicked the box that was already filled in and undid it. So trust me, everyone gained 1. Anyway, let's go ahead and do See the Truth, which is actually really good because I want that to trigger while she has a dried acanthus. So next, let's pull that up. Story events. To be honest, I should have just let her take it, but that's okay. She suffered enough. You suddenly, the greatest courage is achieved when the past and future are abandoned. The void that remains is a dark, endless well of strength. Fear and pain are your nourishment, and you will feast. You suddenly recall meeting a strange A strange man, who for a moment opened your second eyelids. When you saw what you saw filled your mouth with the taste of your own death. Suffer the blindness of your head injury and taste death. If you're already blinded at least once, do not suffer it again. Okay, so this is a severe injury, so it's just going to be soaked by the dried acanthus. And next I roll a 1d10 to see what she gets. So 1d10. 10. Sour. When your second eyelids opened, you saw thousands of small life forms swimming through the air. They crawled over you, stealing taste of your sweat and blood. Death was near. You wonder how your fear tastes. A puckering sour flavor filled your mouth, and you decided that you must never die. Gain the following ability. Sour Death. When you are knocked down, you may encourage yourself. If you do, gain +1 strength token. So, Sour Death. We'll put that. We'll do this. There we go. There you go. Good stuff. Alright. Next. We go to here. I'm going to go ahead and trigger the lantern at this point. So let's go ahead and take care of that. So everyone's going to rest except for Yumiko. Yumiko will tune. So she's going to gain 5. It's 3 plus how many blue affinities you have, so 5 insanity. So this brings her back to 11. And remember, she only has 2 movements. In fact, just to help me remember this, we'll just do this. These tokens are just to remind me that I have 2 movement. If I do suffer any other modifiers though, like minus movement or I lose a leg or something, this actually overrides everything. No matter what, it's always 2 movement. Okay, but we also get to go ahead and do the war room, which honestly there's nothing I need to worry about from that, and storytelling. So let's go ahead and roll the 1d10 so I can fail it. 9. Okay, that's something. With reverberations drowning out all sounds, the group shares a wondrous moment, inspiring them for the upcoming battle. Each survivor gains 1 random fighting art. Okay, cool. I'm just going to go ahead and roll 47. I believe that's what I need to do. And I'll just do it in order of the tabs above. So that's cool. Now, granted, this is going to overwrite a bunch of fighting arts, but that's completely fine. So 47. Kangara gets 14. 14 is Rhythm Chaser. Gain +1 evasion token the first time you critically wound during a showdown. Rhythm Chaser cannot be used if there are any shields or heavy gear in your gear grid. And yes, I'm pretty sure that's not how you spell rhythm, by the way, but whatever. 38 for Tenchi. Transcended Masochist. When you gain a bleeding token, gain +1 survival and +1 insanity. Ignore the effects of icophobia and apathetic disorders. That's actually pretty useful. The bad part is getting those tokens. Or sorry, it's it's just +1 survival and +1 insanity. That's not bad. Okay, so Transcended Masochist. I have to overwrite one of these. Let's drop Mammoth Hunting because we don't need it. Transcended Masochist. There we go. Next, 12. This is for Momiji. 12 is Monster Claw style. Your Fist and Tooth gains +1 accuracy, +1 strength, and Savage. What Savage does is if you crit, you do an extra damage. I'm just going to go ahead and drop Last Man Standing. So, one way or another, I'm going to be overriding Monster Claw style. So whatever else I get, it's probably going to be an improvement. And then for Yumiko, she gets 35, which is the Abyssal Sadist, which she already has. So I'll just have to overwrite Abyssal Sadist again, I guess. Well, actually, you don't get it again. It's just, that's it. It's a wasted gain. You don't get to draw another card if you get the same one, by the way. It's just a wasted. Same thing for disorders. If you get the same disorder, nothing happens. Okay, so that's all taken care of. We got a few things out of it, so better than nothing. next we got to do the random event. So D100, I can re-roll this if I choose, but I have to do it before I decide to actually do whatever is part of it. So 10. Give me a moment. I actually need to open the rulebook. Okay. We ended up getting the Harvester, which is not a good one, but I don't think anyone has noisy gear. If we have noisy gear, I'm going to reroll. But let me read it first, I guess. This event cannot be rerolled or avoid. Oh, actually, I can't even avoid it, so it doesn't matter. The ground quakes violently as a colossal worm bursts from the ground beneath the survivors. Its skin a mosaic of screaming faces. The mere sight of it is maddening, and all survivors suffer 1 brain event damage. If any survivors has noisy gear, the harvester is drawn to the sound, and they are instantly devoured whole. All survivors must spend 1 survival or be devoured. Devoured survivors are dead, gone forever with no hope of recovery. I don't think anyone has noisy gear, but I'm looking. No. Definitely knows. And knows. Okay, so everyone's going to take 1 brain damage and have to spend the survival point. Fine by me. Okay, and that is it. Go figure, the one event we get is the one that can't be rerolled. Alright, and next we fight the Gorm. So that takes care of that. We do get tall grass no matter what, and we get to roll 2d21. Also, nope, that's it. If we had Crimson Candy, we would actually gain a survival point right now, but we don't. So, no big deal. Okay, so once again, we have to set up 6 spaces away, blah, blah, blah. We do get 20 and 14 for our terrain. 14 is a giant stone face, 20 is a tall pillar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this tall pillar right there, because I don't care. And this stone face, 5 spaces away from all board edges. So it has to be somewhere like right there, which is fine. Don't care about it. Okay, next we got to get set up. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll put Tenchi right there. You can be right there. You can be right there. Alright, so really the goal is to make sure Yumiko gets as many hits in as possible, because I want her to get as many crits as possible so we can get as many free resources as possible. So that's really the only goal. Everything else here doesn't matter. Okay, so let's go ahead and get ourselves set up for the Gorm. And we'll put away this stuff here. We'll put it over there. There we go. You can tell when I haven't reloaded the save here. Alright, so Gorm, 8-2, and that's it. We are fighting only at level 1, because I am a coward. Or intelligent, whichever. Like, even though, like in this run-through, I was intending to be pretty casual, because obviously, 1, I have hero mode, and 2, I've kind of already, seen the end of this game. But even with that taken into account, I cannot, in my right mind, send a bunch of characters that I can't, replace to do such risky things as fight in the Gorm's Den, go through the Fedegordo or the Final March. And unfortunately, I have to keep fighting the Gorm because obviously I don't want to lose my innovations, which I need to make a video about innovations, by the way, because innovations are a little weird. There's definitely some weird things about them. Such as the idea that you can lose an innovation and what that exactly means. But that'll be for later. Okay, so there we go. This is going to be a pretty straightforward fight, nothing to worry about. The monster does go first, so let's go ahead and get this started. Shuffle, 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 shuffle. Infrasonic Roar, all threats. Roll 1d10 for each target. On a result of 3+, they suffer brain damage and damage to the head location. Then full move the Gorm towards the furthest threat. Okay, well, not much I can do about that, so I'm going to go in order by the tabs above. So once again, we'll roll 4d10. Anyone that's 3+, which is everybody. I think I have, don't I? Cannot be knocked down by brain trauma or intimidates. Okay, that's pretty much it. And this is just going to do brain damage and head damage to the head location. So Kangara's going to take 1 wound and a brain damage. Tenchi will take a damage and a brain damage. Waluigi and Yumiko. Okay. Full move, going towards the furthest threat. Everyone's equal distance, so I'm just going to move down here. Oops. There you go. And that is it. That is it for the round, and now it's our turn. So I'm going to start with, I'm definitely going to start with Yumiko first, because she can't move. So 1, 2. Let's get this started. So 3 attacks, hits on 4s. Because I don't think I have any other adjustments. I don't. So here we go. 3d10. 1 perfect hit and 2 regular hits. So 1, a 2, a 3. Okay. I'll go ahead and roll first. Yumiko has +2 strength and sword mastery and mammoth hunting. So this is going to be, that's 4 strength there. The weapon has 3 strength. So this, and then we get +4 because of perfect hit. So +11. 1d10 plus 11, that's, let's see, base is 10, 9 for luck, 8 for lucky charms. This is not a crit, this is just a wound. I will go ahead and I'll apply it to the distant, no, we'll apply it to the ridge spine. Ridge spine, so that's a wound. I'll go for the Crowded Fangs next, which is going to give us an additional +2 strength. So 1d10 plus 13. That's a critical hit. So that is going to give us a random Gorm resource and +1 courage. The Gorm's teeth rain to the ground. The attacker gains 1 random Gorm resource and +1 courage. Good for us. So there you go, +1 courage. And we do get a random Gorm resource. The Gorm has 21 resources. Let's take care of that. 21. 21 is a stout vertebrae, which is just a bone. So there you go, 21. I'll make a note of it. Alright. Next will be the Distended Gut. This time it's just going to be 1d11, 1d10 plus 11. That's another crit, which gets us a Stout Kidney for free. By the way, I need to apply the wound from before, so total of 3 wounds we did. There you go. Stout Kidney. It's an organ, and I can do stuff with it if I care to. I don't really care about it. Stout Kidney is 19 and 20. I'm just going to go ahead and say it's 19. There you go. Next, I'm going to go ahead and Surge. I'll do, oh, by the way, I get +1 Insanity because of Abyssal Sadist, because of that first wound. Also, we get a Survival Point back. Then I'll spend a Survival Point and see if I keep it. I do keep it, and then I will go ahead and roll my 3d10 again. Perfect hit and 2 regular hits. I believe that's right. Yep. So 3 hits again. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and roll first and see, and then pick. So 1d10 plus 11. This is a regular wound. I will go for... let's just go for the testes. Alright, next I'll go for the Bulging Eye. That's a crit to the Bulging Eye, which is just going to give him -1 accuracy. Okay, -1 accuracy, and then I'll go for the last location. That is a wound, which is going to trigger Wretch, which is going to make it to go back 2 spaces and wreck everybody. And yeah, I'm fine with that. I could do some reaction stuff. I can do some, survival actions, but I'm not that worried about it. So he's going to go back 2 spaces, not a big deal. All these people are going to get hit. Let's do Kongara first. 1 damage to the arms, bypasses armor. Tenchi. The waist, bypasses armor. And then for Momiji, the body, bypasses armor. There we go. And that is it. I could attack with everybody else, but I like I said, I'm focusing on crits. So I'm going to go ahead and let the monster have its turn and regret every decision I make here. Also, Abyssal Sadist does trigger for the second attack as well. So that is another +1 insanity. Okay. Next, let's go ahead and draw this next card. Headbutt. Random threat in field of view and range. So that's everybody. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and... Okay, this isn't that bad. So random threat in field of view. I'm just going to roll 1d4 and base it off the tabs. 1, that is Kongara. So it's going to go move and attack. So like this. It's going to make 1 attack. 1d10. That's a hit. Kongara will dodge. Okay. And since it didn't hit, it doesn't trigger the wretch. So that's the good news. Alright, so plenty of advanced cards. Alright, it's now our turn again. I'm going to go ahead and move my 2 spaces with freaking Yumiko. And make my 3 attacks. 3d10. Only 1 hit. So, mandible, blah, blah, blah. 1d10. This is 1d10 plus 4 from all these bonuses. 2 strength, mastery, and mammoth hunting. So that's 4, and then the weapon is 3, so 7. Alright, that's a regular hit. And that is it. Okay, I do get a survival point and an insanity because of Abyssal Sadist. I'll go ahead and spend a survival point and see if I get it back. I don't. I am now surging. 3d10. 2 hits. 1, 2. Okay, once again, 1d10 plus 7. That's a regular wound. I will apply it to the wrinkled elbow. This once again gives her a survival point and an insanity because of Abyssal Sadist. Okay, and then for the last location, that's a wound which is going to trigger Wretch again. So it's going to go 1, 2, sending her 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And Kongara will actually dash just to get out of the way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. You can, as long as you're not the attacker, you can go ahead and do survival actions before the in response to a reaction triggering. So that's what I did there. So now that's taken care of. Wretch hits nothing, and we're good to go. So now it's the monster's turn because I'm not going to do anything with anyone else. So unfortunately, the only 2 cards that are left are all annoying. So we get to have fun with that. Headbutt. Okay, random threat in field of view and range. Okay. Oh, also, actually, Momiji is knocked down because she got collided with. So I'll do 1d3 and ignore Momiji. 3, that is Yumiko. So it's going to turn and face Yumiko and attack. 1d10. Misses. Okay. It is now Yumiko's turn. Yumiko is just going to attack in place. No mammoth hunting this time. 3d10. 2 hits. Just making sure. Yeah, only 1 attack. Alright, so... yeah, 2 hits. Let's see what do we get. 1. 2. Alright, this time we don't get mammoth hunting, so it's just going to be 1d10 plus 6. Not that it matters. That is a critical hit, so what do I want to apply it? I'll just do it to the maw, because there's apparently no other locations that are worthwhile. And then I'll go for the tail, which I do get +2 in, but it doesn't really matter, because it fails. Alright, I'll go ahead and surge. I do get the insanity and the survival point because of Abyssal Sadist. I spend a survival point and surge. I keep the point, and then I make my 3 attacks again. 3 hits, so this is probably going to trigger some stuff. Nope. Alright, so we're good to go. So 1d10 plus 6, that is a critical hit. I will apply it to the backstrap. I'll end up getting a free Jiggling Lard out of it. And if I choose to, I can eat it and get +1 Courage and +3 Insanity, which is tempting. But the Courage is easy enough to get, and I'd rather get resources at this point. So yeah, let's that's a wound. Get the Jiggling Lard. Alright, Jiggling Lard. And I'll mark that as a 6. There we go. And then I need to pick a location. I will go ahead and pick the Mammoth Hand. That's a wound, and that's a death. And that's it. And a battle. Alright, pretty straightforward. Don't think I messed up on too much stuff there. +1 experience. Tenchi levels up. +1 experience, +1 experience. Alright, so Tenchi, you actually reach age 3. Congratulations. So I'll roll 2d10 for her. 9. Probably a bunch of fighting arts. 9 is a random fighting art. So 1d47. 42. This would usually trigger King's Curse, by the way, but I've already triggered King's Curse this year because of the Manhunter fight, so it doesn't trigger a second time. Just wanted to remind you guys that. Alright, 42. What do we got there? Defender. When a survivor adjacent to you is knocked down, you may spend 1 survival. If you do, they stand and gain +1 survival from your words of encouragement. You cannot use this if you have Broken Jaw. So, Tenchi gets Defender, which I'll go ahead and just put as part of replace Last Man Standing. So, Defender. Good stuff. Alright. And next we need to do loot, and that's pretty much it. So, let's take care of that right now. That's it. But there's a cat in my lap. So I'm slightly distracted now. Alright, so 4d21. Alright, as soon as I can actually see the numbers, there we go. 4, 10, 14, and 20. Are any of those repeats? They are not. Good. 4 is a Gorm Brain, which we don't really need anymore, but that's handy, I guess. There was a mention of about Negretto. When you archive it, it doesn't. You only get Negretto once. That was what someone mentioned, but as far as I can tell, if you don't have it, you get it. So, the only time you classify as an innovation as innovated is if it's actually part of your settlement. So if you lost it, then you've obviously not innovated it, which is really weird because it's part of the problem with losing innovations, because it's very weird to say the least. But I'll probably make a video that kind of goes in more detail about that. Anyway, 10's a meaty rib, 20's a stout kidney, so we'll just make a duplicate of that. And then was it 20, 14? 14 is a stout heart. Got a lot of organs. So I might take advantage of, assuming I don't lose Negretto again, to get a bunch of free, elixirs and stuff going, or possibly even a Gormite. Anyway, what was I was saying, meaty rib. That's right. A lot of organs. So there's those, and then we need to do a 40-21 for regular resources. So there you go. One's a broken lantern. But yeah, with the Gorm, with all the Gorm climate being able to lose innovations, like the way I see losing an innovation is that if you lose it, that means you lose the consequences from the deck, kind of like it just lost that part of the tech tree. And thinking that way, I was thinking, what you get to pick what innovation you lose. So what if you just picked language as the innovation you lose? You end up just like permanently losing like entire branches of your tech tree. 'Cause you can't get language back. There's no other way. There's no way to get it back because you get it from the very first event. We did get a skull, which means we get to give +1 insanity to a survivor of our choice. I picked Yumiko. And that is it. Yep. We've got a lot of resources. That's really good. Yeah, we ended up getting 4 extra resources, including the fresh acanthus. So hopefully we can take advantage of that. We barely have enough to do an innovation. If I had eaten that jiggling lard, we wouldn't actually have enough hide. Actually, never mind. We have the question mark thing. So yeah, we're not getting very much hide, and that's the biggest issue for our armor issues. So maybe we'll just go without armor forever. I don't know. Anyway, we do get Negretto back, so I'll go ahead and put that right there. And that back there. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and call this a video. I am the Depressed Eeyore, and this was Kingdom Death Monster. When we come back, we get to deal with the Bone Witch again. Yay. See you guys next time.